If Rockstar stays true to Miami's actual criminal landscape, the way they've always mirrored real cities, GTA 6's Leonida is going to be a war zone. Miami isn't just one type of crime, it's layers of cartels, street gangs, organized crime families, and everything in between, all fighting for control of one of America's most valuable drug ports. Let's break down what gangs could realistically appear in Vice City based on the real organizations that run Miami today and the themes Rockstar loves to explore. Cuban street gangs. Miami has one of the largest Cuban populations in America, and with that comes deep-rooted street gangs that have controlled Little Havana and surrounding areas for decades. In real life, Cuban gangs like the Latin Kings and various local crews run drug distribution, protection rackets, and organized theft operations. They're territorial, family-oriented, and have survived since the Mariel boatlift era by adapting to modern drug trade while maintaining old-school loyalty codes. If Rockstar brings back Little Havana, which we know was iconic in Vice City, expect to see a Cuban gang that controls the cocaine flow from the port to the streets. They'd likely operate out of legitimate businesses like restaurants, auto shops, and social clubs, using their deep community ties as both cover and power base. The real Cuban gangs in Miami are not simple street thugs. They're organized, politically connected, and have been embedded in the city's criminal infrastructure for over 40 years. GTA 6 could show a gang that's been there since the 82nds. Vice City era now evolved into a modern operation dealing with gentrification, younger rival gangs, and cartel pressure from the south. Haitian gangs. Miami's Little Haiti is home to some of the most violent and organized street gangs in Florida. Real Haitian gangs like Zoe Pound and various local sets are known for drug trafficking, armed robbery, kidnapping, and extreme violence. They're tightly knit, often using Creole language and cultural identity as barriers against police infiltration, and they've built reputations for brutality that keeps rivals cautious. Rockstar already featured Haitian gangs in Vice City and Vice City Stories, so it's almost guaranteed they'll return in VI but modernized. Expect to see a Haitian gang that controls Little Haiti with an iron fist, involved in drug distribution, human trafficking, and arms dealing. The real gangs use symbolism and reputation as weapons, public displays of violence, cultural intimidation tactics, and zero-tolerance policies for disrespect. A GTA 6 Haitian gang would likely be portrayed as one of the most dangerous crews in Vice City, not because they're the biggest, but because they're the most willing to go to extremes. They'd operate out of botanicas, community centers, and warehouses, projecting power through fear while maintaining deep loyalty within their own community. Venezuelan criminal networks. Over the last decade, massive waves of Venezuelan immigrants came to South Florida fleeing economic collapse, and with them came Venezuelan gangs and criminal networks. In real life, groups connected to Venezuela's Tren de Aragua have been operating in Miami, involved in drug trafficking, organized theft, human smuggling, and violent crime. They're younger, more aggressive, and willing to challenge established gangs for territory. Rockstar loves reflecting current events, so a Venezuelan gang in GTA 6 makes perfect sense as the new blood trying to carve out territory in an already crowded criminal landscape. They'd be flashy, social media savvy, and represent modern gang culture where clout matters as much as street credibility. Expect designer clothes, luxury vehicles, and a willingness to start wars with established Cuban and Haitian crews because they're hungry and don't respect the old rules. The real Venezuelan networks in Miami are bold, ruthless, and growing fast, exactly the kind of rising threat Rockstar would use to create conflict in the story. Mexican cartel operations. Miami is a major distribution hub for Mexican cartels, particularly the Sinaloa and Jalisco New Generation cartels. These aren't street gangs. They're paramilitary drug trafficking organizations with military-grade weapons, unlimited funding, and operational sophistication that makes local gangs look like amateurs. The real cartels don't hold street corners. They control supply chains, port access, and distribution networks across the entire Southeast. If GTA 6 includes cartel presence, which it absolutely should, given Miami's role in drug trafficking, expect them to operate differently than street gangs. They'd be the invisible hand controlling the drug trade, using local gangs as distributors while maintaining their own enforcement teams for high-level threats. Think coordinated hits, armored vehicles, and sicarios who treat murder like business. Rockstar explored cartel themes in GTA 5 with Martin Madrazo, but Miami's direct connection to Mexican cartels could allow for a much deeper, more dangerous portrayal. A cartel-backed gang in GTA 6 would be the final boss of the criminal hierarchy, the organization everyone else either works for or hides from. Dominican drug trafficking organizations. Miami has a significant Dominican population, and Dominican drug trafficking organizations are major players in South Florida's cocaine and heroin trade. In reality, Dominican gangs and trafficking networks operate sophisticated distribution systems, money laundering operations, and have international connections that allow them to move drugs and cash on a global scale. They're known for being disciplined, business-focused, and avoiding unnecessary violence because heat is bad for profit. A Dominican gang in GTA 6 would likely be portrayed as the professionals, the crew that doesn't start wars but always seems to come out ahead financially. They'd invest in legitimate businesses, run clean operations, and have connections that reach beyond Vice City into international criminal networks. Rockstar could use them to show the business side of organized crime, contrasting the flashy street gangs with a crew that gets rich quietly while everyone else is fighting over turf. Outlaw motorcycle gangs. Florida is major territory for outlaw motorcycle gangs like the Outlaws MC, Pagans MC, and Mongols MC. These one-percenter clubs run drug trafficking, gun smuggling, and organized crime across the state, operating out of clubhouses and controlling highways and rural areas that street gangs don't touch. They're heavily armed, fiercely loyal to the club, and willing to go to war with rival MCs or anyone who disrespects their territory. GTA has featured biker gangs since the beginning, the Lost MC in GTA IV and V being the most prominent, so a Florida-based outlaw MC in GTA 6 is almost guaranteed. Expect them to control rural areas, coastal highways, and be involved in meth production, arms dealing, and smuggling operations. Biker gangs add a different flavor to GTA's criminal world. They're not about the hood, they're about the open road and living outside society's rules while running serious criminal enterprises. Everglades criminal networks. South Florida's rural areas and the Everglades are home to loosely organized criminal networks, meth cooks, gun runners, poachers, and survivalist types who operate in areas where law enforcement can barely reach. In reality, Florida's rural crime includes everything from illegal grow operations to meth labs to stolen goods trafficking, run by individuals and small crews who know the terrain and use it to their advantage. Rockstar loves exploring rural American crime. They did it brilliantly with Trevor's operation in GTA 5's Blaine County. The Everglades offer the perfect setting for similar chaos in GTA 6, isolated, dangerous, and full of criminals who don't answer to city gangs or cartels. Expect meth labs in trailers, illegal hunting operations, gun stockpiles, and confrontations with paranoid, heavily armed locals who treat the swamps like their personal kingdom. This would be the wildcard element of Leonida's criminal world: unpredictable, violent, and uniquely Florida. Organized crime families. Miami has a long history of organized crime, from Italian and Irish mobs in the mid-20th century to modern Russian and Israeli organized crime groups operating today. While traditional La Cosa Nostra doesn't have the power it once did, organized crime in Miami evolved. Now it's about money laundering, real estate fraud, political corruption, and white-collar crime mixed with traditional rackets. Rockstar loves organized crime stories, and Vice City's original storyline featured the Forelli and Vercetti crime families. GTA 6 could feature a modernized, organized crime presence, not the old-school Italians, but a multi-ethnic coalition that controls the city's political and economic power structure through legitimate businesses, union control, and corruption. They'd be the gang in suits, the ones who don't get their hands dirty but control everything from the shadows. This would represent the top of Vice City's criminal hierarchy, the crew everyone else works for, whether they know it or not. Wealthy criminal crews. South Florida's ultra-wealthy areas like Miami Beach, Coral Gables, and Fort Lauderdale have their own unique crime-rich kids and young professionals running sophisticated fraud schemes, high-end theft rings, and white-collar crime operations. In reality, South Florida sees significant credit card fraud, identity theft, luxury car theft, and cryptocurrency scams run by people who blend into wealthy society. Rockstar satirized wealthy criminals brilliantly in GTA 5, and Vice City's extreme wealth inequality creates perfect opportunity for similar commentary. Imagine a crew of trust fund, kids and influencers who steal supercars for fun, run credit card scams, and document their crimes on social media treated like a game because their family money protects them from real consequences. This would add dark comedy to GTA 6's criminal world, while exploring how crime works differently when you're rich enough to get away with it. If Rockstar builds GTA 6's gang landscape based on real Miami, Leonida will be one of the most diverse and dangerous criminal environments in GTA history. Every neighborhood, its own war zone, every gang playing a different game, and every alliance temporary until someone sees an advantage in betrayal. So, now you've seen the gangs that might control GTA 6, but before all that, there was one street that shaped everything. If you want to understand where GTA's gang culture really comes from, you need to see how CJ became the man who saved Grove Street and destroyed it at the same time. Watch next. How CJ became the man who saved and destroyed Grove Street. Full story explained. Click to see it and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next videos.